there's no denying that something special happens whenever Daredevil and Punisher team up. So The Accountant 2 is the long-awaited sequel to the 2016 original, and it picks up 8 years later with Treasury Agent Mary Beth Medina seeking help from the man who goes by the Accountant, who in turn calls upon his brother Braxton for assistance. What was a simple murder case soon turns into something much more complicated and much more sinister. Hey, I'm the guy with no name. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you enjoy the video, show your support by liking and subscribing. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers as quickly as I can. Anyway, let's get back to the review. The Accountant 2 was once again directed by Gavin O'Connor and stars Ben Affleck as the Accountant, John Bernthal as his brother Braxton, Cynthia Addai-Robinson as Agent Mary Beth Medina, and J.K. Simmons as former Treasury Director Raymond King. I still remember seeing The Accountant for the first time, and it was almost like a John Wick type situation where I went in not expecting much at all and thinking at best I'd be getting a mediocre and stereotypical action film, but I was pleasantly surprised. It ended up being a much more unique and better than mediocre film than expected, and because of that, myself and other people have been asking for a sequel for a while. It seems like they've talked about making a sequel for a bit, but never got around to it until just now, so the question is, 8 years later, were they able to recapture what made the first one so good? Overall, I'd say yes. First of all, I loved seeing Ben Affleck and John Bernthal reprising their roles, and I think the strongest part about the sequel is that it focuses a lot on their relationship as brothers. And I just thought they had great chemistry, or lack thereof, when they're arguing and their personalities are clashing, but either way, it works very well. It was also great seeing the trio, them plus Agent Medina, for a good chunk of the film, where she plays a great foil to their questionable morals, where she's trying to still be a law-abiding law enforcement agent. I will say, I think the story needed a bit more focus. I did like how in the first one, it switches gears a lot, and sometimes even seemed to switch genres from time to time, but this time around, I thought the story was a little too all over the place and needed a bit more direction. Also, I can't say much about this, but there is a character in the movie who turns out to be a major one, and I don't know if I got fully on board with her, but seeing as this is a non-spoiler review, I really can't say more than that. I thought the directing, acting, and action sequences were all well done, and I did appreciate how, like in the first, it wasn't just filled with action scenes, they were actually spread out a bit, which made them matter more to me. Also, just a personal side note, I did really appreciate some of the interactions different characters had with Affleck, because I have a couple friends with Asperger's, and I've literally had similar conversations with them at times, so just made me chuckle. Oh, and last thing, there are a decent amount of jokes in the movie, and some of them landed for me, but some of them did not and felt a bit cheesy. Though I will say I did kind of think about it after the fact, and some of the jokes that bothered me actually don't anymore, because if you've seen the first one, both the brothers did not have normal childhoods at all, so it would make sense that both of them, whether they have, you know, a condition or not, would be a bit off and socially awkward and tell cheesy jokes and have these quirks and stuff like that, so some of them didn't bother me. Speaking of that though, the first one, that brings me to a question that a lot of you might have. Do you need to have seen The Accountant before watching The Accountant 2? I would highly recommend you watch The Accountant first, just because I think it will ultimately enhance your viewing of the sequel quite a bit, and it's a good film anyway, so might as well. But I will say though, it does give you just enough information to get by where you're not going to be confused or anything, so it's not necessary, but I still highly recommend it. So ultimately, The Accountant 2 wasn't a perfect film, and I did end up liking The Accountant 1 better. However, I still enjoyed The Accountant 2 and would give it a solid good rating. Let me know in the comments if you've seen either of the Accountant movies, and if you've seen both, which one do you think was better and why? I don't know about you guys, but I do feel that 2025 has been more or less an underwhelming year for movies, but I do think there are two very good movies out right now, The Accountant 2 and also Warfare. And if you have not yet, check out my review of Warfare to see if that film is worth your time, because I would probably say it is. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. This is the guy with no name, signing off.